You know what? Behind me on this board are actually 7 stupid things that you're supposed to stop them once you hit 35 years and above. Guess what? These are known factors that actually limit a lot of people in achieving their goals. And this 2024, we're not going to just tell you what you want to hear. We're going to tell you the truth. And I would rather slap you with the truth than comfort you with a lie. All right? So stay put for this video to the end for you to get the maximum. And another stupid thing, by the way, is not watching this video to the end. All right, that's it. So by the way, make sure you like this video so that a lot of people can actually be subscribed to this video, and also subscribe to this video because I usually upload each and every time. All right, let's get the business. Now, the point number one is that your every correction, you actually take it as an attack. I repeat, your every correction is an attack. You see, when you're 35 years old and someone tells you, hey, I guess whatever you're doing with your finances is not right. By the way, I don't think you're supposed to be paying 45% of your total income towards your rent. It's uncalled for. That's not good because, hey, guess what you're going to get yourself? You're going to get yourself into a ditch. You're going to get yourself into lots of problems. You're going to have what we call the cash crunch. And there you are being emotional. Hey, life is for the living. You just leave me alone. Why don't you focus on your lane? I'm supposed to be doing... See, when you hit that 5 years and above, and by the way, before I even continue, in Kenya, we recognize you no longer as a youth. All right, youth actually runs all the way from 18 years to 35. Once you hit or you're above that age, you consider as a quite stable adult who is thinking. By the way, we can even entrust you with a presidency. Hey, this is true. That's according to our rules and regulations. As far as is it rules or is it constitution, right? So the point is now at this particular age, you're supposed to be this kind of an individual who is accommodative. All right, you're supposed to differentiate the situation where you're being told the truth and where you're being attacked. So when you're being attacked, you know what? You respond swiftly, the way it's supposed to be responded. All right, never actually go for a war, but always be prepared for it. Okay, the other thing is that whenever you hear somebody is actually correcting you, what you're supposed to do is draw them closer. All right, because they're telling you the truth. This is the problem that I'm realizing in this society of nowadays of 21st century is that most of the people don't want to hear the truth. All right, they just won't be told that what they want to hear. Whenever they massage you with that what we want to hear, we feel good. And we tend to think like those are the best friends we can ever have. Let me tell you one thing. Come on. If you're overweight and you have chances of actually getting some non-communicable diseases. If you can work out, if you can actually put your house in order, if you can actually be a little bit responsible, if you're actually you're taking your alcohol in it at a very high rate, uncontrollably, you're actually not good at managing your money, you're not good at taking loans and what have you, you're taking a loan to fund a consumable. Come on, let's just tell each other the truth, whether you love it or you don't. It's a fact, you're doing it wrong. So stop taking any correction out there as if it's a self-attack. But 2, living with your parents. I don't even know what the heck are you doing at that 5 years old with your parents. All right? By the way, you're supposed to be, at 25, you're supposed to be, not even 20, even, by the way, in Africa, at 21, you may argue you're still in college. Let's talk of 25, fine, let's talk of 25. At 25, you're supposed to be getting out of your parents' house. Why? Probably you're out of college. Well, if they are or no job, actually you're out there trying the best as you can. And if you're still at your parents' home, you're actually doing something, everybody, including your parents, and even yourself, you can actually tell you're doing something substantive as far as your growth is concerned. All right? So at this age and you're still living with your parents, you should be having a very big egg on your face because it is not good. However, you try to, unless maybe you got some piece of property, they told you, hey, you live by this place, but not living in this situation like, hey, I do not have a job, I do not have an income, you have a problem. Honestly, you do have a problem, and listen to people who are telling you the truth. It's as simple as that. All right. So at this age, if you're still living with your parents, let me just consider you not a good action. I was about to, sort of bring a very heavy word, but I'll just stop doing so. Okay. Now let's go to the next point. Is that you're having what we call the crowd thinking. By the way, statistically and scientifically, it has been proven when people are actually when you actually tend to have a lot of people, they tend to sort of have a low IQ. For example, before you actually crucify them in the comment section, have you ever realized it's quite easier for mob to actually go ahead and commit, sort of an atrocity when there are many, like let's say they get caught of a thief, then they can actually do a thing that I won't even mention here. See, but when you're alone, you can't actually do exactly that. You have to have this sort of a second thinking or something also. Okay, fine. That may be hard for you to relate. Do you remember back when you're in college and you're having a lot of friends hanging around? It's sort of, you never even have to have some sort of a reality about your life because you could have actually hang around with them, have fun. You can't even realize how tough it is outside there and all those kind of things. So life was so quite good and everything. Okay, so that's like having a crowd thinking. Okay, fine, if that's not even applicable. Do you remember that back when you were in high school or whatever the stage you are in school, and then you realize there is a test that you're given by your lecturer, teacher, or whoever, and then you kind of failed all of you? When you failed all of you, you are like, oh, it's not only me, it's like everyone, it's like the same stage, it's like you. See, when you have that kind of a crowd thinking, you should actually ask yourself, okay, fine, the highest got 9. I got 4. Wow, why didn't I then get 9? You get what I'm saying? But when you say like everyone failed, even the top actually failed. So whatever, it was just a hard test or something of sort. When you justify when you justify yourself on those bases, I am telling you, you're actually having what you call the recipe to fail in this life. You're supposed to be cautious, keen, scrutinize yourself, be accountable at all the time, especially when you hit that 5 years. You ain't supposed to be hanging around with like, lots of guys out there and having the common thinking like, oh, economies are tough, there is no money out there, we can't make it as far as in African continent, doesn't work. Hey, we black people, we are actually what we call sidelined or something of sort. You play victim like all the time. That is the worst mentality that you can ever have in your life, okay? It is good to actually be out there. Try to always identify and understand in any situation, at any given situation, this is all by myself. When you start taking that we call self-responsibilities of your life as you progress to the next level, you will do amazing things, okay? Let's go to point number 4, all right? By the way, did you like the video? Or are you still liking the video? Come on, do the thing, all right? Point number 4. You will start what I'm saying, you will start managing your finances when you actually start to earn more. Let me repeat the point. You say at 35, you're telling yourself that you will start managing your finances when you actually earn more. Have you ever met somebody and you tell them, hey, you're supposed to organize your finances. You're supposed to have a budget on how you utilize your money. And this is what they tell you. At this time is not the best because I actually don't even earn more. So they tend to have this mentality of, why would I even plan something that is way low that can't even manage? That's a very, very weird and skewed mentality. You are supposed to actually manage your money, plan your finances, budget your money, and no matter how small it is, always budget it, okay? Even if you're actually salvaging, even if it's 2 shillings, make sure that at least you have the organization. Why? This is what I'm doing, not because of what you're earning, but what you're likely to earn in the future. This is what happens. I always tell people success is usually an intersection between 2 things, a hard work and a luck. So when they intercede, that intersection or that meeting point, that's what you call the success. And these intersection or one thing to meet the other ought to make yourself, or you have to elevate yourself and put yourself at a lucky situation. What does it mean? So if you say you're going to start managing your finances when you earn more, guess what will happen happening? You'll actually be getting yourself a very bad character. If you have a problem in managing 1,000 shilling, even if you get 1,000,000, you're still gonna have an elevated or actually an amplified problem of actually managing that amount of money. That's true. So this mentality of, hey, guess what? I'm justifying yourself on the basis of, hey, I'm misusing my money because it's less. You're gonna get the bigger problem once you get bigger money in future. So how about you put your house in order so the moment big money shows up, you already have a character and a habit that will actually put you across in a very, very good platform as far as growing your money is concerned. Point number 5, just hating your job. Oh, by the way, I should have said just, not justing, or just hating your job and doing nothing about it. Have you ever met an individual who's telling you, hey, I hate my job, I don't like that job, I just hate it, I just hate it, I just hate it. You just listen, you hate it, and then you're waiting for them to tell you, okay, I hate it now, and because I hate it now, I am doing this. I'm actually developing a certain app. I'm actually developing a certain website. And by the way, I'm starting a business. And by the way, I'm actually at the preliminaries of starting that business. I'm actually, those kind of things. So you're just hating your job and you're doing nothing about it. You're just out there hating it. You see, the point is, probably, they usually say over 80% of people actually hate their jobs, okay? But the point is, most of them, they just hate it and they leave it there. They end up doing that job the rest of their lives until they get retired. But they have been hating it since they were young, okay? So once you realize you're uncomfortable with the job that you're doing, then ask yourself, how much am I making? I'm making an X amount of money, okay? So I survive on, how much do I survive on? I may actually survive on X minus 1, okay? So how much can I actually save? I can save Y. Fine, okay? So what can I actually do to get myself off this? Okay, the very first thing when you want to transition yourself from being employed to self-independence is actually accumulating amount of money equivalent that you can actually start pushing the side hustle. okay, or the investment to actually make an equivalent money that you're making from the job that you're doing. So if say you're making 100 here, you're being paid 100, you're being paid 100,000, and here you have an investment that you can push it to a point whereby they can be at the same level. You're making 100 here, you're making 100 here. Even if you decide to drop this job, your normal life expenses and the bills and everything will actually be paid, okay? Well, that's actually, I can say it's actually a better time to actually quit your job. You can do so because you can actually survive. But if you ask me, I would say just tilt it a little bit higher than what you're making, so that by the time you're showing up here, you're saving more. Therefore, you can actually come with more enterprises of this one and then be able to progress to the next level. The biggest mistake that people do is that you hate your job, you do nothing about it, and the thing that you do is not the wisest, which is just quitting. You drop the job and then you're on the field, you are making nothing, and you want to start a business and you want to start, you quit, then think of what you can start. No, you're supposed to start as you hate your job, you continue, you push it, you know what we call you sort of bring up this kid that you've started in town, that is the business or an enterprise, so that at least by the time now you're quitting, you don't even go to the first step. You actually have something that you can pick it up and be able to progress with it. Come on, that's exactly how you do it. Okay, now point number 5, having 5 friends. At that 5, you're having yourself 5 friends. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 guys. You can just call them anytime. And by the way, let me tell you one secret. If you have 5 people whom you can just call at any given moment and they show up, and it's not an emergency, it's not a thing to do with investment, and you are 35, you are in the wrong circle. I repeat, if you have some guys, 5 guys in your phone, you can just make a call and they can make themselves available within the next 2 hours. Bro, sister, you're wrong. You are the wrong circle. You actually bringing together 5. For example, okay, today if I try to call my closest guys, I'm pretty sure it will take me sort of a plan like a week or 2 or something for us to organize, for us to meet, because they are busy, they engage somewhere, they are doing something, okay? They are all over the places. So for you to actually bring them together on board in a single call, probably you're having idle people who are just available at any given moment. Unless maybe it's an emergency. You know, don't crucify me on the comment section unless it's an emergency. Hey, you know what, guys, you need to show up. Boom, they can actually show up. Hey, you know what, guys, we need to do? Boom, they can actually be there for you to support in case of just and anything, okay? And God forbid all those things, okay? The point is, if you can just wake up thinking like, hey, I just want to go hang around and maybe some drink and something, or so just call 5 people. There, I'm just a call away. I'm coming. Bro, see, you're actually getting yourself on the wrong direction. When you're above that 5, the only thing that you can consider as a friend is actually 1. True. Fight it or leave it. The fact remains, when you have 5 of them at your side and you're calling them friends, they're not really your friends, okay? The last point, not the least, you can't keep secrets. You're very mouthful. Let me tell you one secret. There is a sort of a relationship between you being wealthy and being a secretive individual. I made that video and I'm not going to spend a lot of time out there. So if you can't keep secrets, you can't keep money. True, go check it out there. I have that video out there and you can check it out. So if you can't keep secrets, someone cannot even entrust you anything. How can you even be entrusted with a deal, with a connection? How can you? Because have you ever asked yourself, have you ever actually noticed in life is that this wealth and money making thing is actually enshrined with a lot of secrecy? It is true. Yeah, it's enshrined with a lot of secrecy. So it's also good to have that character of actually putting a secret out there. All right? Whether good or bad, you have to have the ability to actually keep a secret for you to be able to do what? To progress in the next level. So if you're being told something by people at your above 35, people can't even entrust you with a very simple thing about family issue. You are there opening your mouth to all over the place. Then it means that even if they get another gig or a deal out there, they cannot even engage you because you're take care of this, okay? When you're above that 5 years old, okay? But now, that's the end of my video. But don't forget to hit the like button, comment down below, and see you in the next one. And by the way, don't forget, my number is always on the comment section, not comment section, but rather on the description of this specific video. See you in the next one.